President Obama's speech at a Denver high school got a little fiery. He did use some of his time to blast Republicans, but mostly he did stay on target, talking jobs, education, and the crucial link between them.
But what's also a quintessentially American idea is that those of us who've done well should pay our fair share to contribute to the upkeep of the nation that made our success possible. Because nobody did well on their own. A teacher somewhere helped to give you the skills to succeed.
Well, a lot of President's speech clearly aimed at younger voters, and we've got two of them with us right now. Dan Burrows is political director of the Denver Metro Young Republicans, and then we've got the president of the Denver Young Democrats, Chris Laughlin. Gentlemen, okay, Chris, let's start with you. Did young Dems actually hear what they wanted to hear from the prez?
Thanks, Kara. Yeah, absolutely. The president got out there and he talked about, one, getting middle-class families back to work, and two, creating job opportunities for those young Americans. And this is a bipartisan proposal. It's full of bipartisan policy measures, and I don't see any reason why Congress shouldn't go out there right now and pass this bill.
Dan, did you feel any better about job opportunities for this younger generation after the speech?
No, I don't think so. The unemployment rate for people under the age of 24 is a staggering 18.1% right now. And the only thing about this speech that was really helpful to unemployed people is that was in the middle of the day, so they didn't have to fight for tickets with people who actually have jobs. What it was the same thing that we've heard before, and I think that the discredited stimulus that we had in 2009, this idea that just pushing money out the door as fast as possible is somehow going to revive the economy, it hasn't worked before. Why is it going to work now?
Chris, do you agree?
Absolutely not. Listen, this measure is paid for one thing. And secondly, right now we have a field of Republican candidates, and not one of them is out there talking to youth voters and talking about how they're going to actually create jobs for young Americans. So, I respect Dan, but I don't quite see where, the Republican candidates are going to go out there and actually be any better for youth voters. The president has his whole term has been out there doing things to make sure that youth voters can get access to college, that they have health care, and creating all sorts of different opportunities for them. So, I'm really proud of this president, and I think that the American Jobs Act is really going to help young Americans.
Dan, I think both of you probably will agree to this, Chris and Dan, about voter apathy, especially within the younger generation. I mean, besides you guys who are out there really pushing for what you believe in, I know you'll be going to the polls. Did this speech do anything for voter apathy among men and women in your age range? Dan?
Well, it depends what group you're talking about. I think certainly we had a meeting last night for young Republicans. We had more people there than we've had in months. People are excited about what's coming up. But as far as the people that are supporting President Obama, I mean, when you run a campaign that's based on, for young voters at least, voting for somebody because they're cool, the same thing is going to happen there that's happened to other cool things like slap bracelets and hair metal. I mean, eventually people are going to forget about it. I think that's what's happened with young voters. President Obama just isn't cool anymore. These people have left a protective bubble of high school and college that they were in when they voted for him the first time. They're facing the stark reality that they don't have jobs, that they're facing crushing student loan debt, and running around making nice speeches on a bill that simply isn't going to pass isn't helping them. Look, the targeted tax increases that he's talking about that supposedly are going to pay for this bill, he proposed the exact same thing in April 2009 when we had a Democratic Congress and it went nowhere. And now he's saying, oh, Republicans just want to stop this because so they can score political points. That's not really what's going on here. He's proposed something that's not palatable to either his party or the Republicans. It's a campaign tactic, but when you have people that are interested in things that are cool, I don't know if he wants to,
Chris,
plank on the Resolute
Chris, what do you
desk.
think? What do you think, Chris, about what Dan is saying? I mean, does the younger generation no longer think Obama's cool? It was just sort of a neat thing at the beginning that there was a young African-American president, and now all of a sudden it's just not cool anymore?
No, yeah, well, I take issue, to begin with the fact that they only voted for him because he was cool. I think that they, we were coming out of a presidency with George W. Bush that really kind of left America in shambles, and they were looking for someone who was, intelligent and inspirational, and who knew who could go out there and actually get things done. And, I think we have to put things a little bit into perspective when it comes to youth apathy. I'm out there all the time, like, trying to engage young Americans, and I think that they are actually excited for this upcoming election. But, it wasn't until October 2007 when I actually went to my first Obama event. So, we still have a lot of time to get those youth involved, and I'm confident that he will have every single one of those votes that he had in 2008 from youth voters, and that they will not only give their votes, but they will actually go out there and knock on doors and make phone calls and make sure that we elect the president.
Chris, Laughlin, Dan Burrows, thanks so much for weighing in, guys.